to M's the Word, and today our M word is memory making. Now, ahead of the summer holidays, I know there are mums out there who are wondering how they're going to balance it all, how they're going to juggle it all. We're hoping in this episode to have tips and ideas for you so that you can have a happy summer with your children. So children get around 70 weekdays off school every year, with 30 of those in the summer alone, while most working parents get just 28 days of annual leave to cover everything. So even if you use every single day of your holiday on childcare, you still wouldn't even cover the summer holidays. So mathematically, it doesn't add up, which is why families rely on grandparents, holiday clubs, nannies, shift swaps, unpaid leave, flexible work, or sheer resilience. Okay, ladies, so when do you start planning for the summer holidays? How do you do it?
Why are you looking at me like I would have a plan?
Well,
hello. I'm very much a wing it kind of mum, so I don't like to be. I have a structure around how my week works generally that is carried on. Okay. So my mum will help out on a Thursday and Friday, and the rest of the days are a bit of a juggle, really. So
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you've got the kids at home.
Yes.
And working.
Yes. And then Thursday, Friday,
for 6 whole weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for reminding me. And it doesn't work that well, but this is the first year.
Good
Surprise.
Tip number one.
Surprise, it doesn't work that well. But this is the first year that I'm solely responsible for it. And I think that will be better because I think I've always had an expectation of help on off days or, flexing shifts around and things like this, which didn't really come to fruition. Okay. So I think now I will be much more focused around holiday clubs, paid childcare. Okay. Any swaps? Anyone want some children's swaps?
So you can get some ideas from this episode.
Yeah, I think this one's really going to help me. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Yeah. What about you?
Do you know what? For one moment in my life, I'm really organised with the summer holidays. And so far, I know, because I'm not that person, really, am I? But I love the summer holidays now, like I used to when I was a kid. And thankfully, I have a very flexible job. Thank you very much, Sarah Tacker. But I attack it early June. And I print out, I can't even believe these words are coming out of my mouth, but I print out a 6-week calendar. I do.
I'm so proud of you.
I know. It's like a spreadsheet nearly. And I basically clock in anything that's already booked. So like we like to go glamping or we've got things, might have already been booked. So they are days I'm clearly having with the kids. And then I'll make like notes of like when I think I'm going to work. And I'll go from, I don't like to work while the kids are there. So I'll give myself, try and give myself 3 working days in 2 or 3 a week. And sometimes you do the twilight hours where they're asleep. So I'll try and work out the 6 weeks like that. And then I'll send a message out to the grandparents and be like, what days out of these would you like them? Like it's a gift, my children. And often, actually, because they're both in school now, they do like to have a day with them, sometimes separately, because they individually, they're really easy to do. So then one nan might nick one there. So then that gets ticked off. Also, my husband, because he only works out it's the 6 weeks holidays, the day of the 6 weeks holiday. So I do like to tell him, it is coming. Would you like one of them or both of them at any point? And so then nick that one. And then I fill the rest with clubs. Yeah. And also, what I've learned about the summer holidays, which I really enjoy, is that, the light is there for a long time. So if I pick them up from a club and it's 3:30, 4, we've still got the rest of the afternoon and evening to go and do something. So I don't feel like, I've spent it working, you're in a club, I've wasted life. I haven't. And I feel really at ease with all of that. So, winning.
Good. Wow. I should have a bit of that.
Please do.
Yeah. This year will be my 3rd summer holidays. The first one, I was on the back end of maternity. Yeah. And I was feral by the end of it. I think it's because my partner. I'm sure it's not for me. How are you doing this? I think my partner thought, she's on maternity. By the end of it, it's a tough conversation. So last year I planned it a little bit more, and I feel like this year. So I booked my first summer event in September last year for this year.
What was that?
Princess Fest.
I've booked that as well.
Yeah. So if things come up, I will just book them in because I like organised fun. Yeah. Sorry, Shelley. And I've realised, because I'm very aware that the pressure of having my little one's childhood in my hands is that we've booked
just caravan holidays. I was brought up in caravan holidays. I'm obsessed with them. My kids love them. Is try and get 1 or 2 weeks where I can, affordability wise, in the summer. So I feel like we've done something. And then there was a mix of him doing some work in the morning, me doing it in the afternoon, grandparents, and it's just you would just sort of find each other in September, and be like, we did it, we survived. Okay, cool.
There is
We've got another
feeling
year.
like that.
Yeah, it's just like I remember what you looked like, and to hold a conversation. But I think there is an element of survival.
Yeah.
You're just surviving.
Especially when they're young, because some of the children will be too young to go to clubs. So till they hit 5. You see this is a theme we talked about in another episode.
I didn't have that
There is-
because nursery carried on, so I was
Oh,
really
okay.
spoiled with that actually.
Right,
so
so you didn't have
After
to start
pre-seed at
school.
5
Yeah.
and onwards. So yeah, I
Yes.
didn't have. If I'd had that, I think I wouldn't be sitting here as
Yeah.
like happy about it as I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but different ages, isn't
Yeah.
it? Different things. Like you say, some people have got nursery, but if you've got preschool, that shuts down for the holidays as well. So yes, the school, anything ending with school is generally what's going to disappear. Okay, good. I do the printout as well.
Do you?
But I make a list of these are the things that if we manage to tick all these things off, I will feel like I've had a summer with my children. So it ranges from fruit picking to watching one of the outdoor cinemas to or to go into a theme park, you know, and I'll include the children in that. What is the 1 or 2 things you would love to do with me this summer? They go in and then everything dances around that. Twilight hours, we talked about it really briefly there. It's become a very normal phrase in the Mortgage Mum. I don't know if we made it up. I feel we did.
All Clodagh.
Well, we'll
Yeah,
claim
it's
it.
ours.
We'll copyright it on this episode. So twilight hours is something that we operate in the Mortgage Mum, where you are out with your kids in the day while it's hot, while it's sunny, hopefully. Please, UK. And then when you get home, the idea is that they've had a nice day out, they've had some exercise, they've had some fresh air, as have you, and they might be quite happy and due for them to maybe have some screen time, maybe have some downtime, which means you can log in, or perhaps your partner can help in those hours. And we have found twilight hours have a certain kind of magic to it, where you are very productive, the world is quiet, and we can kind of all be in that zone together, and it's quite lovely, especially on a warm, balmy, you've had a lovely day out, and then you get some stuff done in the evening and you're like, I've nailed motherhood and working life today. You get the occasional day like that. So you feel like you've lost one of these precious summers. But memory making doesn't always mean expensive. Sometimes, like we've said, it's ice cream on a Tuesday, a board game, messy kitchens, long evenings in the garden, a water slide. My kids love some water balloons, just that.
Sprinkler, yeah.
Exactly. So what do your children actually remember? And most importantly, what do you want them to?
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to remember.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, just that I was there, because I was really lucky. I was brought up with my mum always being there, so she was practically a stay-at-home mum, and that was a really strong memory. We didn't necessarily do loads or go and do too much, but as a family unit, we were there, and I sort of like her, or both my kids, you know, but both remember that I was able to be there, be present. We
That's
do
lovely.
remind her why. My eldest, while we work, and she'd always go, I know you're working, so we can go to Disney. I'm like, no, that's not just the sole reason, but sure, live in that.
Yeah.
But just that I was there, and I didn't miss anything if I could.
That's lovely.
I do think that just obviously the summer, whether it's really hot or overcast, you get the light for a long time. And I think being outdoors, that's when my kids and I are most, and you know, my husband and anyone, I just feel calmest. And I think that's what I want them to remember, just that sort of feeling of ease, that balmy kind of feeling. And I think that's what summer is. And interestingly, I remember one summer, one of the first days of summer, and I'd arranged to meet my friend, and we went to this amazing place with all these activities. And my kids were awful for the first half an hour, because it was like they were so overwhelmed by what to do next that we just didn't get the best of them. We worked it out, and we did end up having a really good day. But 2 days after that, we went somewhere that is essentially the ruins of a castle. We go there a lot. There's nothing to do. They could not have been happier. Like 3 hours playing whatever they were playing in this place. And I thought, gosh, it isn't like, not to say don't go to these amazing places, but that's not what it is. It's just giving them this room and this space. And I think it affects a lot on how you are. So even if you're staying at home that day, and like you say with a water slide or something, are you chilled? Are you in the like that sort of version of yourself? And I think I'd like them to remember joy and outsideness.
Yeah.
it's joy and laughter for me. Yeah, I want them to know that I always joined in, and I think I get myself in some real sticky situations sometimes. But I got wedged in a water slide I'd created last year because I was just too wide for it. It was a children's slide. I was like this, but it's a hilarious moment, you know, and they love that, and they say, "Oh, Mum, do you remember when you went to like get the fairy liquid so you could get down the slide?" You know, so but why not? You know, so I think that's what summer's about to me. It's those long lazy days in the garden. It is the sunshine and the laughter.
And I think it allows you to have that kind of impromptu that you don't really get any other time of year. Perhaps because you have to plan less for the weather, or I don't know what it is. But you know, we live near the seafront, don't we? And I'm always trying to remind myself there's nothing stopping you from popping to the seafront at 4 o'clock. Any day. It's not a beach. Doesn't have to be a beach day where you've got everything in the kitchen sink with you. You can pop down there, have some chips, sit on, you know, and that I'm like, remember to do spontaneous things
just for a few hours.
And I don't know why the summer and no other time, but that is when I'm most spontaneous.
I'm literally doing that tonight. So I've said to the boys, all right, but
Shelley.
I said, let's just go out in the car and we'll drive down the seafront and we'll throw some stones in the sea, and we take a loaf of bread and we feed the seagulls upwards. You know, when you feed ducks, you go that way, don't you? Or in the seagulls, you just throw upwards, and they'll catch it out of the sky. You know, so but those moments, they're the moments that the boys remember.
For sure.
You know, they're the loved ones.
I just love the ease and flow of summer so much. So it takes me a minute. I think it takes me and the kids 2 weeks. I've worked out now. So I think I'm in. Well, I've done quite a lot of summer holidays by now. I feel like it takes 2 weeks for us all to really sink into the new pace. The mornings are slower. I always start my childcare later if I'm having childcare that day, just so we can have that ease and flow that you don't get on a school morning. They can be in their pajamas a bit longer, you know, and we're just not rushing around as much. For me, it takes me a while to become summer holiday mum Sarah, because I'm summer holiday Sarah and I like her. And I want to take her with me to the working days. It doesn't quite work like that. I always cry at the end of summer holidays. I cry at the start because it's coming, and then I cry at the end because it's over. And by then I've morphed into summer Sarah, and I'm like, oh, don't go back. This is so fun. But you touched on it then. My goal is always, do you remember whens? Collecting as many of those as possible, that randomly when a photo comes up on my phone, they go, oh, do you remember that? Do you remember when this happened? Or do you remember we used to do this? You know, that's, for me, that's a sign of a good childhood. But let's talk about the guilt. So if you're working, you can feel guilty. If you're not working, you can feel financial pressure. If they're in clubs, you can worry. And if they're home, you worry they're bored and missing out. So what do you think? Let's come on to a viewer question. I am a working mum and I can't afford to take 6 weeks off or book expensive holiday camps. I feel like I'm failing my children every summer because I'm constantly juggling work and childcare, and I see loads of mums doing amazing things with their children on social media. How do I make it feel magical without burning out or ruining my career? This hurts me so much because this is kind of one of the biggest reasons for setting up a business that is flexible, but it's still not normal. And that misunderstanding in management of the juggle is very real for lots of women and men. So we have to take ourselves out of our reality here because our reality is different to that. So what advice can we give to Angela, who is that working mum and feels like she's failing her children?
I think the first thing she's got to do is remember that social media is just a glimpse. That's probably just a very good photo in one of the maddest weeks or maddest days. So actually what she's seeing isn't probably that person's reality as well. So not to put pressure on, but also speak to her children, because I can bet your bottom dollar the magic is in the basics, like we've just said. Like going to the park, or when she does finish and she just lets them start watch a movie, with popcorn, you know, build a den. They all love that. I don't think it has to be anything wild. It's just the basics and being present, even for an hour.
And that after school activity, like you say, going to the beach, if you could do 1 hour a day, Angela, or 1 hour 3 times a week, you'll feel that essence of summer.
I wonder if Angela has the ability to reach out to other people that feel similar and could share some day swaps, or if she's got any family around as well. But a practical tip that I didn't know until a couple of years into using the kids clubs is you can use your tax-free childcare discount, so you get 20% off in a lot of the clubs that run through the summer holidays, which doesn't cover it all. It's only 20%, but does make a difference. And so it can be that financially there's something that's maybe fits better.
I would also say it's worth talking to your management and just saying to them, is there any flexibility that I can work differently in the summer for those period of 6 weeks? If they say no, I want to know why, because employees need to understand the juggle is real. The maths doesn't add up. The maths is so off that we just all talk about it and circulate it on social media and comment how bad it is, but no one's actually doing anything about it. So companies need to role model this. What can you offer to your staff in the 6 weeks holidays? Can they work 7 till 2 and 7 till 9 in the evening? Is it possible? It's 6 weeks to you in the company. It's someone's childhood to them. It's a parent who is weighed down. So I think there is a massive movement needed in company structures to support. And you, Angela, might be the change that is needed for others. If you don't ask, you don't know. And their answers will tell you a lot about who you're working for anyway. So I would ask, be more Shelley, ask for what you want.
Always ask. Yeah, for sure.
Anything from you?
Yeah, I think it's all of those things, isn't it? Also speak to your children's school or other local schools, because my children's school run a holiday club. It's very affordable compared to other ones, but you sort of feel like it's exclusive just for that school, but it isn't. My nephew's been as well. You can have any child from any school go to it, and it's about £15 a day. So it's really, really affordable compared to other ones that can be £35, £50, something like that. So there are definitely things around that you can find, or play dates with friends. That can be their favourite ones. My kids love it when I just ignore them for the day and work. Can you just ignore us and just let us do our own thing in our own home? And that's their favourite day. They're in their pajamas and they just eat snacks all day and they play the games, and I take them out for a walk at lunchtime. So it is sometimes those small things you overlook, but you do have to know your full pool of resources as well. So definitely look into that.
And asking as well. So many of my friends have never offered to look after my kids, but the summer I decided to ask everyone. I can't remember why. There was some reason for me to need help, and I just asked. I said, can you offer any help this summer? I'm more than happy for your kids to sleep over. I had so many sleepovers that year because I could do the sleepover, but I couldn't do during the day. And they, most of the time, if you think of someone asking you for help, you will say yes.
Yeah.
And if you can't,
when
at least
you've
you're
got with
aware.
someone else's children, playing with your children, that's like a tick.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to find the entertainment there, because another child is the entertainment.
That's so true.
So because you can feed them and keep them safe, it makes life easier.
That's so true. Okay, we're going to do a quick fire round. I'm going to go round the table. Plan it or wing it? Well, we know.
Look, I am a woman who plans things, but just my life is often full of chaos, and so my plans often go out the window. But this year, I'm going to try and be more Gemma, and I want it. Once you've done your planner, I want it, please, pre-populated, and I'm going to just see if I can follow it. Because why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
My parents on there as well.
Yeah. I might change some names. If it's working for you, why wouldn't it work for me?
Of course.
Yeah.
Definitely, let's try it. Let's see if it's just grandparent day. I shall ring the grandparents and see what they want to do.
This is what Gemma's grandparents are
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. I'm a winging planner, and what I mean by that is the days are dedicated to some sort of childcare, whether it's me, Paul, grandparents, kids club, but the activities are open and spontaneous.
Yeah, I'm planner.
Yeah.
But I will allow spontaneous moments that I will plan in the diary.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be a planner. I'm with Jade. I'm the planner too. But I'm going to try and have a bit of winging it.
Yeah, we'll try.
Yeah, we'll try.
I love your idea of
feedback.
having key things.
I love
kind of
that.
making sure you've got them in. I
Yeah.
think I do that, but I'm holding it here and actually could go on the list.
It's nice because at the end of the summer we took it off together.
Yeah.
Did we go
that's
to here?
nice.
Did we do this?
Yeah.
Did we do that? Then no, we need to do it this weekend. Did we do that? So, and we also have a family summer tournament we have a tournament for
love
everything
that.
here. So we had to start the scores at the start of summer.
Yeah.
You're going to get something at the end that feels exciting, whether it's a cheap little tatty trophy or just something. And that fuels the summer of, you know,
What's it gonna
who's
be?
winning? Oh my gosh, we've only got 2 weeks. So
That's
Yeah,
such a good idea.
that's nice.
It's just a
We
little
have started to create some traditions as well that have just naturally formed. And one is glamping with my friend and her family. So there's 5 children and us 2.
Yeah.
And we've done that every year now for the last 4 years. And then my friend as well has moved to Sudbury, and I get an Airbnb and either stay a week or a weekend near her and pretend she's my neighbour. And we've just done that for the last couple of
you
years.
haven't. I love to see
And so they
those
come into the
traditions.
diary every year as well.
It's so funny how other people's traditions are part of your kind of exposure.
Your
So,
world.
She's going to be so weirded out when I turn up at that Airbnb.
hi neighbours.
This is the time to visit the neighbour.
She's very welcoming. She'll love you.
Okay, one big trip or lots of little moments.
Oh, lots of little ones for me, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
those are little moments. Yeah,
One big trip or lots of little moments. You can answer too. And holiday club or grandparents.
both.
Anyone that's willing. I'm at grandparent stage, so I can't vouch for holiday club.
Okay.
I have started to have to message friends and say and try and sync the holiday clubs with their friends as well now, which
Yeah.
is a whole nother
Yes,
load of
that is.
you know, liaising. But I don't know, both is I'm going to say, because you can't replace the things that grandparents can give, but
No.
holiday clubs have a lot
Have fun
a lot of
too.
activities in it, don't they? So yeah.
Okay, if you stripped summer back to 3 things you want your children to feel, what would they be? And we're going to go 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
3 things.
And if I have anything to say, I'll say it.
Joy.
Shelley's so mine, so I'm going to say laughter.
Nice. Good.
Freedom.
Ease. So what's one memory from your own childhood summer?
I used to play in the sprinkler with my neighbour who was my friend. So, yeah, so I bought a sprinkler so my boys can do the same.
Picnics. So picnics near a park with my mum's friends and their children and like friend
Yeah.
cousins sort of people.
Just playing out the front, which is like a really old thing to do, but just literally playing with my neighbours. Yeah, just playing out the front.
I used to love
Yeah, your bikes, you know, all of that.
Yeah.
Do they do that anymore, kids?
No, I mean, I wouldn't let my kids out the front.
No.
Like then.
I live on a main road. So
Yeah, like, but you'd come in when it gets dark and go out when you've had your breakfast, and that was it. Yeah, get a pound to go to the shop, and that was your day.
Just for something different, because I did have those things too, but other than the water slide was like epic part of summer.
Yeah.
I loved, and this is not summery at all, but going up at the end of a summery day and doing Blockbuster and picking your
Oh,
movie
Blockbuster.
and getting your movie snacks, and then Mum would close the curtains and move the sofa, and then we knew it was movie afternoon.
There's an
It
event.
was so much
nice,
fun.
I love
Yeah,
that.
it was really cute. Okay, so the system might be broken, the maths might not add up, and yes, it might feel like a military operation, but your children won't remember the calendar or the spreadsheets. They'll remember how summer felt. And you don't need 6 weeks of perfection. You just need moments of presence. So maybe this summer, instead of asking, have I done enough? We can ask, were we together enough? So what does a successful summer actually look like for you? We'd love to hear in the comments. And who told you that that was the standard? We'll see you next time. Happy summer holiday planning.